All right, Mark Swenson here, and we are talking about investigating the employer. This is part of How to Win Your Sexual Abuse Lawsuit. The first thing you do is to check out the employer's website and make a record of it. Everything you can find on the website. And an easy way to do that is to go into Google and put, in your search, you put site, and without any spaces, then you put the website of the employer. And that will give you all the pages that Google has seen in the employer's website. It will not include some of the pages, and I explain it in the book. This is very technical stuff. Look in the book for some of the more technical points of this, but the Google search will not go past, usually will not go past what's called the robots.txt warnings, but there may be other places on the web that you would find that. You don't want to go directly onto the employer's website. Once you've done that Google search, you will get every page that Google has pulled up, and under the main title of the page, you'll see a little down arrow. If you click on it, you will see the cache page, where Google has cached a page. They have seen the page, and they make a copy of the page. And that's what you would want to use. What you don't want to do is to go onto the website of the employer, because an alert webmaster will see that you are doing this, and then people may get tipped to the fact that the nice lawyer is doing the investigation. Why is this guy doing the investigation of us? And they look and they see that you do sexual assault cases, and so they start to shut down websites and web pages and get rid of evidence that you might be able to use. Be cool about it. You may want to use another search engine such as DuckDuckGo or XQuick or Scopes.com. You will perhaps want to use a proxy server that will not show what your real IP address is. You don't want them to know that you are investigating them, because they will get rid of the evidence. When you take these pages, and I show you how to do it and how to do it legally in the book. When you get these web pages, make a screenshot of every web page, so that you have a record of it and you are not destroying evidence or ignoring evidence. Keep a file of those web pages. Once you have begun to investigate, and the investigation gets louder and louder, especially when you start talking to witnesses, at some point the employer is going to know about it, and then you can forget about being quiet. At that point, you should consider talking to the cops. You should interview quickly everybody you can. How do you find out that they know? Well, you get a call from somebody you've interviewed, and they said, gee, I got a call from my old employer. I haven't worked there for 2 years, but they called, asked if anybody's been talking to me. You may hear from them. Sometimes you talk to a witness and they said, oh, my employer called and said not to talk to you. You know that they're that they're on to you. But the other thing is, at this point, there's a mole hunt. There's a mole hunt that goes two ways. You know, a mole is somebody who's in an organization giving out information. You want to know who their mole is in the people you've talked to, and they're going to want to know the same thing. So you try to find out who it is, very subtly, who's been talking to them. And sometimes they'll just tell you that in the course of conversation. This is especially true of religious organizations, because there are a lot of people who think that whatever they do for a religious organization is okay. Whatever advances it, you know, it's fine. However unethical the conduct may be. So once you know who the mole is, be cool about it, because you may want to use the mole later on to signal things such as settlement postures to the perpetrator's employer that you wouldn't be able to do directly. Be cool. Don't confront them. Right. You want to find out who worked for them, everybody who worked for them, while the person was there, who works for them now, who got fired. Talk to them. You can find that out lots of times through the employment websites. You look for somebody who's looking for a job and they list, you know, the St. whatever it is school in their employment resume. Time to give them a call. You can ask about insurance. What kind of assets do they have? Do they have insurance? Usually they do have insurance. What kind of insurance is there? And you may be able to get some of the company emails on the web. People are very sloppy about that sort of thing. Once the quiet stage is over, you want to send to the employer and the perpetrator a demand to preserve evidence, so that if they start to trash evidence, there will be penalties attached to that. Right? Again, it is absolutely necessary to do everything ethically and legally, or it's going to bite you. And you can get what you need to get ethically and legally. Google. Google is your friend. The best book on Google is called Google Hacking for Penetration Testers, Volume 2 by Johnny Long. You don't need Volume 1. Get that book if you're going to be doing this sort of thing. It will tell you all sorts of stuff that you can pull out of Google. People have no idea how good Google is. I cover a lot of it in the book. You really are going to want to read that section, but it's quite technical for a video. You're going to want to do that, and it's on the website as well, swensonlaw.com. Check out the Facebook, check out the Instagram, the Twitter, YouTube, Yahoo, Bing. For some people, there is another aspect which is called the dark web. It's the onion. And it is a web which is quite secret. It was developed by the US government for use by people in countries where the government disapproves of ordinary web traffic, and sometimes it is used by child molesters to communicate. There is not a whole lot that you are going to be able to do to find stuff on the dark web, on the onion, but you should know that it's there in case you happen to run across it. There are archives, the Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine are useful for checking out web pages that are years old. And Intellius.com will be able to tell you a lot about people. It's a very useful tool and not all that expensive in most cases. Check out Megan's Law website, the National Sex Offender public website, and there are some other web tools that I have covered. All right, one last thing. When you're interviewing somebody, always sit there and listen. People interrupt, people fill in what people are saying. Ask general questions and then sit and keep your mouth shut and let them talk. And write down what they have to say. Sometimes they will let you record what they have to say. A witness should always be able to explain things uninterrupted. Don't fill in what they have to say. If what they say is vague, if it's possible to interpret it a couple of ways, ask about that. We make several mistakes when we interview people. We ask the wrong question. If you don't ask the right question, you won't get the right answer. Okay? We don't listen to the answer. We don't let people answer. We interrupt them with another question. And we fill in the answer for them. Don't do that. No? And when you're interviewing people and you're writing stuff down, on every page, make a deliberate error. A yellow truck instead of a white truck. Oh, I don't know why I put that down. Let me cross this out and I'll initial it here. Would you mind initialing that change there? Thank you. Then at the end you ask him, would you kindly sign this statement you've made? No, I don't think I want to. Okay. You've got his signature. You've got his signature on every page of it. On your corrections. Okay? So you're there. Right. We cover that in depth in the book. I highly recommend investing the time to read that. Newspapers. Every newspaper has a morgue. That's where the old newspapers are kept. And every newspaper has a library. A librarian in a newspaper can be very helpful. So can newspaper reporters. They will help you if you make an arrangement to share with them. You've got to tell them that there's some things maybe you can't share until it's over. But then they will give you information that sometimes you didn't even know existed. They can really help you. TV is not as helpful because they're on a very different schedule, and television, radio people have to get stuff out on a deadline that is instant, and they're not going to be able to help you as much. But there are some commercial services that record news shows and television shows commercially, and you may be able to purchase news clips from them if somebody that you're interested in was on the news. Physical evidence. Getting physical evidence is a profession, and you're not going to be able to pick it up just by watching CSI on television. If there's physical evidence to be brought up, you probably want to call the police because they'll do it for you and they're trained to do it. Right? You're going to need some tools, very simple tools. You want the best cell phone you can get and learn how to use it. You can take a cell phone into a school and or a college and copy out things like a yearbook with the cell phone. You put the cell phone on the library table, you put the book on the library chair, Click, 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 and you've got it. You need a good camera. Get a good camera, and a good camera is going to cost you at least $500. You'll need a tripod, and there is software available, which we get into, for enhancing photographs that are blurred. Next time, we're going to talk about determining whether somebody is telling you the truth. All right?